So today we are going to see threading. In threading, just one concept we are going to see, that is sleep function. So sleep function will make your, wherever you give the sleep function, that is the thread, whatever thread the thread dot sleep you give means which under which function you are giving, that function will go for a sleep, and you'll be mentioning the how the milliseconds, how much it will work, like that. Now we are going to see, plus how this multi-threading concept is being involved, how it's invoked, everything we'll see. First we learn how to create a thread. So creating a thread is very simple, like creating an object. So once you create an object is what, like you're creating a thread. And after you create a thread, it's very must that you're supposed to start the thread. Is that what it's like, tuning the thread, starting the thread. And one thing you should know, that your main function is the entry point for the main thread. All these are actually child threads. So there may be a doubt, like how if I just create an object, it's like a normal thing. Now how it is being converted to a thread? It is because of the concept that this extends thread, this line is very important. When you say extends thread, this goes to the thread class. In the thread class, if you go, it will be the thread pool. In that you will have a variety of threads, and you're creating one thread and bringing it. So that's how the concept goes on. Then you should know how run your this run function. Run function is nothing but the entry point for the child thread. Main function is the entry point for the main thread actually. So T1, all those things can enter. So once they all enter, they will be doing their execution here. The main logic will go on here for the child thread. Inside the run function is the main logic. Then why should you use this word synchronize? If you don't use this synchronize word, what will happen means, when you are actually accessing, what happens, as usual, when you start the thread, here we are not going to call anything, the dot function, anything. It automatically calls the classes. Here if you don't use synchronize, then T1, T2, T3, all they will come and access. It's like your bank, it's like a readers writers problem actually. Many at a time they will access, so both you cannot read and write at the same time, no. So that's what happens. So that's inconsistent data is being created. For that, it is synchronize. Then coming to this third part of your concept is the sleep function. So this is what is our program. In our program, they have asked to do sleep function. That's what the three kinds of sleep statements they have given. And these statements should be running for 5 iterations or something they have given, and the error has to be solved. This is the logic. Why we are going for this error? Why you are using catch for sleep function? Actually, sleep function, join, and some thread concepts and all, they are automatically they will be asking for your try catch block, because they are an error concept, so we need to solve them. For that only I'm using try catch block and solving the error. And it's must that you should not give like the thread one dot sleep thread. It's must you have to give thread dot sleep. And what is this 2000 means? It means the 2000 milliseconds. It's like 2000 milliseconds means, it actually here it means 2 seconds actually. So every time 2 seconds it will be resting, and if you take your welcome 3 seconds it will be resting, and good morning for 5 seconds. Let me run the program. Let me click this nicely and run it. So you can see the hello, welcome. Actually it is like shared actually, so at a time the synchronize keyword works. So it will be executing. You can find 5 good mornings, for example 1 2 3 4 5 times good morning. Similarly hello and welcome also 5 times, then at the end it's goodbye, because it's a very simple program. So just a recap of the concept. Before giving recap, I will show the documentation. So the documentation is your documentation looks like this, so you can see all the classes, everything, what is happening, the 3 sleeps, all these things you can see. So a quick recap of the concept. So first we actually saw how to create a thread. So creating a thread is very simple, and why this normal creating object you need to differentiate it because it's of the thread class we are using. Interfaces is different. We'll be actually passing and all we'll be doing because you don't have the thread class concept. Then even you create an object thread, you have to start the thread. Without starting the thread, it is like it is like a thing, empty thing. It won't work. Then your main function is the starting for the main thread, and you should know this run function is the starting for the child thread, and all the logic you'll be using here only. And the sleep function is very important. Sleep function always, whenever you're using, before going to sleep function, it will always use try catch concept. And sleep function, this inside is actually this 1000 thing means it's actually 1 second, millisecond, 1000 milliseconds is 1 second. Then you print the error, whatever they have here, they have asked for 5 times. Then sleeping is actually making your thread to sleep for some time. That is this particular seconds what I'm mentioning, it will be sleeping time.